good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining this session. As Sean mentioned, my name is Tiffany Bisson. I am the Customer Experience Center Supervisor for our US-based Center of Excellence. I'm joined today by Bruce Bain. He is the application specialist that will be running the press for you out of the US-based office. We're also joined online by Tomer Ohavi. Tomer?
Hey, good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Pleasure to be here with you from Israel.
So for today, the agenda looks like this. We're going to kick over to Tomer in the Israel office, as I mentioned. Tomer has a couple of slides to share with you. And then we'll kick it back over to Bruce and I at the US Center of Excellence. We'll discuss some of the current applications on how we can help you diversify your business in these challenging times. And then once again, we'll kick it back over to Israel, where they'll discuss some additional interior applications available with the 32R Plus. All right, Tomer,
Great.
over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Sean and Bruce. It's a great pleasure and time, and thank you for the audience that took the time and invested coming to this webinar. So what we have here today is definitely talk about the Pro 32R, what it means and how can it leverage your business with different applications. I think we're going to share the slides and then we're going to go back and print some samples and get some options. But I would like to begin with a couple of market insights that we see, and definitely COVID-19, changed the applications arena, and we maybe thought at the beginning it's going to be more temporary kind of a situation, but now we see that it's really also changed the way that print providers print and look for new applications. Right. So, Sean, if you just double check if we can share, change the ball to our direction so we can share the presentation.
Yeah, sure did. Looks like Callie's starting that now. Thank you, Tomer.
Yeah, all right. So again, as mentioned, just a word or two about myself and the team. I'm the product line manager for the roll-to-roll product line. We are based in Israel, where we are developing, manufacturing the roll-to-roll product line. One of them is the Pro 32R and some other features. So talking about the market, we definitely see that new opportunities are opening up, and print providers are, adjusting their applications according to the market needs. And we see that definitely wall covering and floor graphics are one of two examples of many others of new applications that grew tremendously in the last couple of months. We can see also in the next slide that also advertising agencies took this opportunity and actually used this floor area, this territory for advertising capabilities. So it means that, basically, maybe we were walking in our malls or groceries once in a while and saw maybe one or two, flooring, and it was more, let's say, temporary for a couple of weeks. But today, the demands are changing. Both owners, print shops owners want flooring solutions that are much more longer. Definitely, they don't want to replace it within a few weeks or a few months. They want the colors to be vibrant. People are used to have this great quality of the digital printing, and no one wants to have any compromising on the floor, right? And of course, bringing this great technology with the anti-slip certifications that we're going to talk about more. So flooring is one type of thing. I just read yesterday this very interesting article. It's actually talking about Spain's customers, but I think it's probably worldwide evidence, right? Spanish buyers stopped going to stores that don't have any clear signage of social distancing. So imagine you go out to your mall and you have to decide where to go and enter to a specific store, and you really want to keep yourself safe and other people safe, and having this social distancing signage is also become so obvious and part of our world that print providers also and owners has this as a must criteria, right? So definitely it's here to stay for a while, and we see grow volumes in social distancing and also flooring. Another example, we talk about the wall covering market. Definitely, wall covering market is tripling itself, even in every report that you can see talking about wall coverings, even before COVID. Definitely, COVID changed a lot of other applications and maybe decreased the volume prints. But wall covering probably is the only one that maybe even grew in certain areas because the lack of the ability of printing as in outsourced places, closing borders between countries. So a lot of print providers decided to take ownership, to have their own platform and print wall coverings and decor in-house. Also the ability to definitely have faster turnarounds. You know, agencies want things probably within a week. Next slide, you can see what are our wall covering advantage. We're going to show you how it prints, but definitely the color consistency, having the ability to run so many different media types, white and clear, having an indoor ink type solution. You can see that our Green Guard Gold, the inks are certified with the Green Guard Gold, which definitely has low VOCs and also acceptable for indoor use like schools and healthcare. So the whole package of definitely printer, ink, media, and certification enable EFI to bring you the full solution and offer this to your prospects definitely as a one-stop solution. I think this is generally, the introduction. 32R is our, one of the most printers sold. Can support all type of different display graphics. We're just, focusing today more on flooring and maybe decor, but definitely everything that can be done on a flexible media like vinyl, binders, clear PET, Lintec, mesh printing. Anything can be achieved with this great 126-inch platform. So you're gonna see me again on the second part of the webinar. Feel free to reach out with any question you have. We definitely want this to be a dialogue and open discussion. So back to you guys. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Tomer. As Tomer mentioned, we probably initially thought that this was going to be a short-term, not many months long pandemic. So recognizing that that's not the case anymore, we see now that it's probably going to be a bit more time before, we open up completely, large outdoor events, sports events, music events, things like that. They're probably going to take a bit more time to come back. For some people on the line, that might be a very crucial part of your business. And you might be wondering, what other things can you offer? Utilizing the efficiency and the diversity available on the roll-to-roll platform, the 32R as well as the other roll-to-roll devices in the EFI portfolio, you can easily start to transition and diversify your current workload from outdoor exterior signage and wayfinding to interior signage and wayfinding. Tomer spoke about the wall covering applications and murals. Bruce and I are here today to talk about some flooring applications. So there's all kinds, like Tomer was just referencing in Spain, where if there is no flooring or no wayfinding, they're seeing a decrease in shopping. So we are able to very quickly and easily set up for running floor graphics direct to substrate on the roll-to-roll platform. A couple of examples that we have here are plastic expo and temporary flooring graphics. In this instance, we were printing second surface, color first, and then white backing, utilizing the texture on the surface of the substrate to add dimension and add some depth to that graphic. Bruce, what are we running here today?
Yep, so we are running TriTac, semi-permanent flooring. We're running an outdoor mode, which is about 1,400 square feet an hour, 134 square meters an hour.
Excellent. And you can see that we are able to run multiple rolls up very quickly, very efficiently. In a moment, I'll switch the cameras around to the back so you can see what that looks like. While this is running, again, multiple rolls up, you may have just seen that pause in the print. We have an onboard wrinkle analyzer available where it will sense a wrinkle that may be outside of a predetermined tolerance, and it will pause, giving you some options to adjust on the fly, so you don't have to cancel or lose that print. What you can also see is that we have the blue lights leading and trailing the carriage. That's the LED Cool Cure technology. That everybody at this point knows is a really green, really energy efficient solution. But the real takeaway, the real benefit to LED comes in the life expectancy of the lamps. They're not a consumable and will last more than 20,000 hours. But also that tied into repeatability and color consistency. As you know, especially with flooring graphics, you may run into a situation where they need to be changed out or replaced due to damage or wear and tear. You can feel confident utilizing LED technology that pairing up colors side by side as you need to replace panels or pieces of installed graphics, that the color consistency will remain true regardless of when those prints were done. LED technology really brings that home. You'll also see that we have the slitters attached. You can see that Bruce is now able to slit the white edges off of the finished piece. So inline, very quick and easy to set up. You can attach those slitters, allowing you to trim full width, either 3.2 meter material, or again, running multiple rolls up, you can attach additional slitters and slit the edges off, allowing you to remove that part from your post-print finishing processes. We also have, and we'll show you in just a moment, some MEGs or media edge guides that are available. So we had a customer who was printing 2 wall graphics. It was a very challenging wall graphic material that had some damaged edges inherently due to the manufacturing process. They approached Tomer and I and looked for a solution. And what Tomer and his engineering team was able to come up with is the media edge guides. So what it is the flexible plastic material with magnets that will attach directly to the platen, and the material as it's running through the print zone will run underneath the MEG system. So it's going to allow you to have great running success and be able to say yes to that type of application where the materials might be frayed. Some textiles, some banner, if you're doing a lot of banner work, will have waffled edges. Even sometimes these materials with the adhesive backers, the edges that are sticking out of the liners tend to get waffly. So that will allow you again to say yes and better help you to diversify your business portfolio and the offerings for your end customers. We also have some onboard mechanics that allow you to easily transition over to mesh applications. We have an onboard mesh kit. With the simple click of a button, you can activate the wings for the mesh kit, again, allowing you to very quickly and easily transition into other new different applications, again, for that interior storefront, interior expo settings. Bruce, we also have the backlight option to help you with double-sided and to help with some registration prints. You can see up here we have a series of lights on this side. And we also have a series of lights down below, allowing you, again, to very quickly and easily spot check and help with registration. John, are there any questions coming in thus far?
Bruce, do you want to elaborate on what material type this is again?
Yep, so this is Tri-Tac. So it's a semi-permanent flooring. So it does have a backer that you would peel off and adhere to the floor. And should you need to move it or replace it down the road, that is possible.
They would print direct to the white surface, and then it has a self-adhesive that, again, you would apply to the floor. That's one type of application. As we mentioned, what Bruce and I are standing on now is a product called G-Floor. G-Floor comes in a variety of sizes and colors, but also textures. So this one here has a texture on the fur surface, and by printing a wood grain underneath and then backing it with white, you're able to not only have a really great high quality visual of a wood floor, but also the texture of it would coincide with the type of image that was printed on it as well. So, very, very diverse. To Tomer's point, where you need to be nimble in the market space now. You need to be a bit of a Swiss Army knife, being able to offer all kinds of different types of applications where maybe you were a little bit more specialized. The Pro 32R and its efficiencies really allows you to open up that door for other additional applications to help keep your business going. Any other questions? All right, do you want to kick over to Tomer
Sure.
in Israel, and we can talk about the wall coverings and murals.
Great. Thank you again. Thank you for getting back to us. So as you see me trapped into these two beautiful platforms, right? On my right hand, we have one of the Pro 32R that runs wall covering media. What we are using today is actually very unique and special media types that also have some kind of a dimensional feeling. I'm going to show you it very close to the camera in a minute. On the other side, we have another Pro 32R with double-side printing with a backlit application. Okay. So I will invite our engineer to step in with me. So as you can see, we're running two rows of wall covering media. The type is Pongs, if you are familiar with. I think we can start and begin printing. The benefit of our technology enabling to print, very different type of media types in terms of their thickness, in terms of definitely the colors and look and feel. One of the nicest things that we have is automatic preferences. So you can adjust your carriage height, your tension, everything in a setup, and just with a push of a button, if you change from media to media. Another thing you might be able to see is the great colors and great output. And as Tiffany mentioned, the color consistency, whether you print something today and within 1 week or 2 weeks, you get the same colors. Because the ink technology and the curing LED provides an instant cure, and it doesn't even degrade over time. So I want you just maybe just cut a piece of it. You can definitely use the Slitters. You can mount as many of them if you like across the beam, right? We choose here to use 2 of them to cut the margins, but you can also use on 126-inch media width and cut it into half. I just want you to give you a little bit of a close look about the different type of materials you can run. So it's not only those flat type of media. So imagine if you have any offices, schools, gym, gymnastics, you can run them. This is one example. Another type which is also very unique, it's kind of a glossy type, sprinkling. I'm not sure it can be seen, but the media has some nice, very sprinkles. So if you take a look, you can definitely see the sprinkles. I'm telling you, it's amazing, which reminds you that my wife wants some. So definitely such beautiful things that maybe you could not do before in different technologies, we can do today. I want to emphasize that the 32R can also print white ink. So imagine there's endless of possibilities in terms of the design. If you want to do any white ink printing and color on top and have any kind of, special logo or special design, you can define where you want to print. So definitely another option. And again, as also another example of those more dimensional wall covering that probably can differ you from different technologies, technologies that can maybe not support all of these media types. Thank you, Liron. Another great option that we introduced a couple of weeks ago is the automatic backlit. I think we can shift the camera to this unit. What we had so far, we had a manual backlit that you had to do much more manual work in terms of the operation, the operator registration, and make sure that both sides are registered correctly. The double-side printing comes to support a semi-transparent media that you want to print the same file on both sides and get the great benefit of lighting up from the back side and get more dense and pop-up colors. So how do we do that? Okay, we have a camera-based system, 2 cameras, one on each side of the media. When you print side A, it prints kind of a red boxes along the file on both sides. And when you print side B, it prints the x-axis. Okay, so with the camera system, while printing, the algorithm checks all the time if the file is in the right registration. If it feels that there's any misalignment between side A and side B, it's automatically make the adjustment on the software side, right? The image shifts. We're talking about probably less than a millimeter, half a millimeter deviations, and if you take it to 10 linear yards, the accuracy is up to 2 millimeters, right? So you can get definitely those double-sided prints with the amazing colors and quality. We have 2 examples to show you how it looks like. Let's see if we can just turn the media, the camera to this position and show you the output on the light box. Great. Okay, let's see the thing for that. So this is how it looks like, right? Can you turn off the light? The benefit is that you can use it also on a day without any backlit, so you still get the the great colors, and on night if you want to lit it up, you get also the benefit of the B side, and those marks are the registration marks that keep it aligned on the linear leg. I better do it. Great. Okay. Any questions from anyone so far? Nothing, Sean, right?
No, nothing at this point right now. Thank you.
Great. So Tiffany mentioned I just want to show you how it works. The mesh kit enables us to print on a porous media when usually the inks, right, can go through the porous holes. And the idea here is to enable the print shops to convert from one media type to another in the minimal time. So we're doing it by a push of a button that brings up kind of 2 bars on the sides, and then we just lay down the cloth. Okay, can you operate it here? You can see it better here. Okay, the guys, let me just to shift to the other camera because we can see it better, the other printer. And with a push of a button, those 2 wings comes up, right? Can you just close and open again? 1, 2. These are the wings. So you can put the cloth and then the media on top. And if you have the mesh media, the ink goes through the media and got soaked into the cloth. If you just want to complete the mesh printing, you take the cloth out. Usually you can use about 1 or 2 rows of 50 yards, and have another one that is a consumable and convertible to any other media type that you have, right? Very easy, very simple, kind of a mesh kit. So let's talk about some white ink printing, okay? Sean, Tiffany, if there are any questions or anything you want to split or just sort of recap, you can definitely join me on this one. Tali, maybe we can also in between go to the 5 layers white ink printing. So the 32R has an option, the white ink option. You can print different layers. Okay, you can begin with white only. If you want to have white on colored media, you can have white on top of color or white beneath the color. You can have color white color, like this example, right? So if you have color, you have another layer of white and the same image on the back side. Also here for day and night, if you want to lead it out from the back, you get an extra pop of colors. Everything is being printed on one side of a clear ink media. A nice thing that we have is color white color with 2 different images, what we call day and night. So on the day, right, you have image A from the A side. On the B side, you have a different image, colorful. You know, you can definitely, of course, play with different images. And once you pop up the light, you can see colors are changing. It's a little bit more difficult to see it to the camera, but imagine that this is with light, and you know this is the gray without light. Over here, if you lit it up, you get different images. So possibilities are endless, and the idea here is give you tools to differentiate yourself, give more, you know, either more premium applications. A fifth option is our 5 layers printing. So we're printing color white black. A black layer is a blockout, and then another white and color. So it means that on one side of a clear media, you can print 5 layers with same or 2 different images, right? So this is one image. This is the second image. And if you can see on the light, the light does not penetrate from the black layer, right? What it can be used, imagine that you have a mall escalator and you want to put signs that people can look inside of the stairs, and from the external side, you want to have different images, and you just have to print everything on one side. You can assemble it on the escalator, and also people can see the different image from the other side. Another example, if you want to have a sign on your shop, right, and you want to protect it from the outdoor stretch or any vandalism or something like that, you can just glue it from the inside and say, hey guys, welcome. And when they go out, they will see a goodbye. Everything is printed on one side on a clear PET.
Tomer, we do have a really good question that just came through. Can you spend a little bit more time explaining the double-sided printing for backlit, perhaps with the alignment process and you know, the squares and the registration? Just dig into that a little bit more. That'd be great.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Please bring me the sample from the lightbox. So what we do, the idea here is to enable printing on both sides, right? And if we have any small misalignment between side A and side B, you're definitely going to see kind of a vague picture, and people are noticing. You know, our clients are used to so high quality. If they go to Apple Store or whatever, they're used to high quality. They don't want to see any vague pictures. So by printing side A, we're printing those square marks on one side of the image and on the second one, right? So you have the square marks. You print side A all along. You can do 1 file, 2 file, 3 files, as much as needed. You roll back the media. And when it comes on side B, you have the light bar that open up. The camera on side A registers and see the squares from the beneath, and also here. Printers prints an X mark, and the algorithm checks if the X marks are aligned into the boxes. So the camera looks from the beneath, see the boxes. On top, we have the X registration. If there's any misalignment, the algorithm automatically adjusts the file. So if you took the media backwards and reloaded, and your operator maybe was not precise enough, and the image shifts even in 1 millimeter, so the software will detect and definitely have it corrected, even before it happens, a little bit after it happens, of course, but before it gets much worse. So then you can get side A and side B. And I was mentioning, yep, okay. So again, side A printed with the squares, side B with the X marks. Light is being leaded up from the back side, camera register from the front, and make this alignment through the whole, to the linear length. I was talking about, how you can do short runs and long runs. If you have, let's say, 2 or 3 files, relatively short runs, you can just print side A, roll it back, flip the roll, and print in the same order. So you had image A, image B, image C. You will still do what we call head-to-head. You will print image A, B, and C. But what if you printed, I would say, 20 different files, right? A to Z. You don't want to roll your back, the full roll back, and just flip it. It takes time. You will collect the roll from the front, take it to the back, and you will tell to the software algorithm, just do head to tail. All right, begin to print the last file first, and then go to file A. So the idea is to give you, as a user, the maximum flexibility, and of course, save time during production. I hope this makes sense.
Yeah, that was a great explanation. Thank you, Tomer.
So it will lead me also. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to remind everybody on the line, we do have the option for the Q&A panel. If you guys want to go ahead and add any additional questions as we're going through, we are monitoring them from both facilities.
Thank you. So another double-sided printing feature is a blockout automatic option. So this is a blockout media, right? These 2 different images with the black liner in the middle. So what happens here if you want to print both sides, and definitely, the camera system cannot detect? We are using also a sensor-based mechanism, a sensor that integrated into the platform. What it does, when you print side A, before the file, the 2 black stripes are being printed. So you print also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as much as you want. Then you flip the media and print side B, right? This is side B. Then the sensor detects those stripes, know where to begin, and side B begins to print exactly where side A is. So also here, let's say you have 10 different hanging wall banners, 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to have those double-sided printing. You don't have to sew, you don't have to hem anymore. Using the same media, save a lot of time and money with this double-sided blockout printing. Also one of our options. We talked about, the total cost of ownership. We talked about the LED that are not consumable. They're instant lighting up. You don't have to wait for warming up. They can use any heat-sensitive media, of course. The second thing I want to talk about is also the ink yield. Okay, with our inks and special algorithm, with our great R&D team over here, we're able to extract an average of 1600 square feet for 1 liter of ink. Okay, so it's definitely 20-30% above industry standard from other platforms, and we're not compromising on ink, on quality of the image, of the density of the colors, as you can see. It's only the way we know how to lay down less ink and get the same results. So your cost per square feet will be reduced also with 20-30%. Multiply this for week, for months, for year, you have great ink saving. And I honestly, I challenge you, right? If there's any doubts, send us the file to one of the demo centers, print it, get the ink consumption, and evidence by yourself, right? How much ink you're saving. And I'm telling you, I like those drills and Pepsi challenge, because every time we are winning, right? So because we did it with different gears and with EFI, and we know that the ink yield is tremendously saving a lot of ink. Another feature that we developed to help you manage your media and stock much more precisely is what we call the media saving wizard. And honestly, it's a wizard, right? It's a great thing. So what it does, when you print, you load, let's say, a new 50 linear yards of roll. You go and just enter what is the initial linear length, 50 yards, right? Then you print. You have a job. Let's say sometimes you want to clean, you want to purge, you want to do any kind of a test, and you then print some files. You usually never know how much media left, right? 20, 22, 18. Even, the great operators sometimes, cannot really judge by yard or two. So what this option does, it calculates all the time how many media left and remained on the media, on the core. All right? So it prints over here a label that says, okay, there's only 18 linear yards left. So you roll it back, you put it to the shelf, you come tomorrow, you have a job for 20 yards. You will not do this mistake and take 18 yards butt roll, right? So this eliminates those, what we see, those butt rolls on your print shops, and definitely waste a lot of media over the time. This way you can, handle and arrange your stock management. Definitely much more precise, and great feature that many of our customers love and use, and we see those full stocks of media being used with the media saving wizard. Anything from on the chat?
Nothing you haven't already covered, Tomer. I think it's been a really good demonstration of the capabilities and some of the power tools for the Pro 32R Plus.
If there aren't any other questions, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up this session of the EFI Wide Format Wednesdays, again on the EFI Pro 32R Plus. Thank you everyone for joining. We will be sure to make the recording available just as soon as possible. Have a great afternoon. We appreciate your attendance. Thank you.
Thank you everybody for joining. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.